Here it is, my bitches. November 5th. Tomorrow, Election Day. Oh yeah, the smackdown cometh. And finally, everybody will shut the fuck up about stopping me on the street and asking me, do I want to earn $12 an hour hoping get Hussein Obama reelected? Yeah, that's what I want to do with my fucking time, is help you get your fucking statist goddamn fuckwad president reelected. Yep, that's what I want. And if you got $12 for that, why don't you have $12 to go buy some fucking clothes that fit so I don't have to look at your underwear because your pants are hanging down. Oh, you can scream, shout, whine, cry, snivel, piss, and fucking moan. You can shove your opinion up your ass, that way your head has something to keep it company. And that's how we roll. And don't forget the ever-present, the most likely, the third possibility. You are wrong, and I am right. Oh yes. And if you don't like it, fuck you. Not only are you wrong and I am right, I'm gonna motherfucking prove it, like I always do. And why? Because fuck you. That's why. I am the Great One himself, and this is stating the obvious. The weapons platform from which I launch the cruise missile of my intellect that homes in on to destroy stupid motherfucking status all around the big, wide, round planet Earth. This place we call home. This place that I have to share with a bunch of cocksucking motherfucking statists who do everything in their power to take away my freedom. The cocksucking motherfucking statist who constantly needs somebody to hold their hand and guide them through life, because without the government you don't know what food to eat. Without the government you don't know to put on a seatbelt. Without the government you can't get a job. Without the government you can't buy health insurance. Without the government you don't even know which side of the motherfucking road to drive on. Without the government there wouldn't be any roads. What about the roads? Who's gonna build the roads? Ah, yes. The smell of shit in the air. And it's not because I farted, it's because it is election time. Ah, yes. We have two psychopathic murderers running to be president of the United States to see which of them will spend the next 4 years murdering people in foreign countries with flying robots and murdering and imprisoning people for having marijuana. Yes, it's an exciting time. It's democracy at its finest, where the slaves get to choose which slave master will beat them for the next 4 years. I am the Great One himself, and this is Stating the Obvious, brought to you by the Cynical Libertarian Society. We are on the internet at cynlibsoc.com. In the control room, right over there, looking lovely and adorable on the other side of the glass, being seen and not heard the way women are supposed to be, is Randy. And you can send us an email if that last comment about women being seen and not heard offended you. You can send me an email and tell me that you're offended. You can send that email to God, that's dog spelled backwards, God, at cynlibsoc.com. And I don't give a fuck about your opinion, and offending you is something I enjoy, so please let me know. Let me know that your stupid little fucking statist ass is fucking offended. And when you write in and you say, I'm really offended that you made that joke, I don't care if you were joking about women, I want you to explain to me why that's such a terrible fucking thing, but why you are perfectly okay with murdering women in foreign countries with flying robots because they have brown skin. Okay? Be sure you fucking include that in your little fucking email, you fucking cunt. Alright, now, let's talk about the election. Oh, the election, my favorite. As I said in the previous edition, it's like watching WWE wrestling. You know, these people come out in the ring and they're all talking all this shit to each other. Oh, Rock, I'm going to kick your ass. Whatever, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Blah, blah. Yeah. And the election is just like that. It is exactly like that. The only difference is that the WWE is more real. Because while in the WWE, or WWF, whichever one it is nowadays, I think it's WWE. I haven't got a chance to watch it in so long, which is kind of sad because I do get a kick out of it. Anyway, in the WWE, while the outcome of the match is predetermined, at least when you see somebody climb up on the ropes and jump off and land on the other guy, he's really doing that. It's not CGI. It's not wires. Nothing like that. The presidential election, while, yes, the person who's going to win the election tomorrow is already predetermined. I know. Many of you out there think that your vote counts. You think that tomorrow you're going to go out and the people of America are going to vote and we're going to have democracy. And your vote is going to determine who the next president of the United States is. I know many of you believe that. You're the people that we call stupid. Okay? Here's an analogy for you. I have said many times that the NFL, National Football League, is rigged. And here's what I mean by that. And this is a fact. Everything I'm telling you is a fucking fact. The individual games are not rigged, but I guarantee you, as they roll into every season, they already know who is going to win the Super Bowl. Now you say, oh, that's impossible. No, it's not. Because first of all, among all the teams, you pick a team to win the Super Bowl, which is going to be likely to win anyway. Then, when they're out there playing, all you have to do is win enough games to make sure you get into the playoffs. Now, how many times, then once you're in the playoffs, you just have to win enough games to make it to the final. Once you make it to the final, if you watch NFL games, if you watch the Super Bowl, you will know that virtually every Super Bowl game is a blowout. Most of the time, there's like no competition at all. One team just blows the shit out of the other one. Okay? So you're saying, but that's impossible. They can't rig all the games. They don't need to rig all the games. They only need to rig enough games to get the winning Super Bowl team to the Super Bowl. And then you're saying, but wait, all the players would have to be in on it. No. If you watch football, ask yourself a question. How many times have you seen a football team about to win a game? All they have to do is make one touchdown or one field goal, and the quarterback throws an interception when there's nobody anywhere near the receiver. How many times have you seen the kicker kick the ball for a field goal? Last 30 seconds of the game, if the field goal makes it, they win. He kicks the ball, field goal, and it misses by a mile. You don't have to have the entire team on the payroll to throw the outcome of the football game. Okay? So I'm telling you, the people who own the NFL teams, and the season begins, they already know who is going to win the Super Bowl. And why is this? Here's why it is. It's because the amount of money that goes to the city and whatever team wins the Super Bowl, you stupid little fucking sheep, you go out there and you buy all this memorabilia and you buy out t-shirts and rings and footballs with names on it and all this other shit. The amount of money that is transferred from the slaves to the corporations based on who wins the NFL is huge. It's huge. It's a huge fucking amount of money. And if you think the people who own the football teams are going to leave where that money goes up to a bunch of college dropouts running up and down a field wearing tight pants, touching each other on the butt and playing with a ball, then you are stupid. It's much like the presidential election. If you think the NSA and the CIA and the FBI and the bureaucracy and the corporations are going to leave who is the president of the United States up to a bunch of dumb fuck retards who think that their vote counts, if you think they're going to leave who the president of the United States is up to a bunch of dumbasses who need the government to tell them what food to eat, which side of the road to drive on, that marijuana is bad for you, okay. I mean, do you really think the corporations, the CIA, the NSA, and all of these people, the military-industrial complex, is really going to let you stupid motherfuckers decide who the president is? Do you really fucking believe that? And you do. That's why you are a slave. It's because you're stupid. But it's okay. Go out and vote, because the voting will make you feel good about yourself. It'll make you feel like you're participating in democracy and you've done your thing. Oh, and you get your little I voted sticker and you can walk around and be all pretentious and shit. Oh, look at me. I participated in the democratic process. If that's what floats your boat, Just remember that every person murdered by the government is murdered with your support. The Rocky Mountain Collegian, which I used to make fun of a lot. I haven't talked about it a lot lately. I haven't podcast as much lately either. But there's the newspaper for Colorado State University here in Fort Collins. And it's always great. It's always hilarious because, you know, it's a college newspaper. It's run primarily by liberals, for liberals, of the liberals. They do occasionally have some right-leaning statist opinions in there, but most of the time it's just left-leaning statist opinions. Anyhow, front page of today's issue, Monday, November 5th, is the candidate 2012 contrast. It's Obama, and I love this. Under Obama's name, it says Democrat, and Romney, it says Republican, because there are people who still don't know which candidate is in which political party, but those people are going to vote. If you don't fucking know which political party owns these two people, should you be voting? I mean, we are at the point where you have to tell people that Obama is a Democrat and Romney, he's a Republican. Yeah. Now, you go vote. Yeah, you go participate in democracy. Yeah. So let's take a look at some of the glorious things that these two candidates for slave master, Obama and Romney, the Messiah and the Mitzy. Oh, let's take a look at some of the wonderful things they're going to do for us if we just elect them king of the United States. Oh, they're going to make the world so much better. The state is just going to come in. It's going to solve all your fucking problems because you can't do anything for yourself. No, fuck no. No, because you're a motherfucking slave. All right. Obama, Hussein, the Messiah, he is going to cut oil imports in half by 2012 and expand domestic production. This is the same guy who stops oil drilling in the United States because it might hurt some butterflies. And he's going to cut oil imports in half by 2020. Obama is not going to be president until 2020. If he is reelected, and I think he will be, as I've said before, He's only going to have 4 more years. He's going to have no fucking control over what's happening in 2020. Aside from that, we're all going to die this year because the Mayan calendar runs out. And the Mayans were way smarter than we were. We are. We will be. No, the Mayans know what's going on. We're all going to die. No, we're not even going to make it till 2013. Don't you know? Haven't you been on the internet? It's on the internet. We're all going to die. The Messiah is going to have an all-of-the-above approach to energy independence and increased production of natural gas, wind, and solar energy. All of the above apparently does not include coal, which is the number one thing we burn for fuel, and apparently it doesn't include nuclear power, which is not only the safest in the sense of the impact it has on the environment, but is also the most cost-effective as soon as you get rid of the government regulations that make nuclear power almost impossible. And I mean, how is Obama going to increase production of wind? Is he going to talk more? Is he going to point his fucking ugly ass big-eared face at windmills and give his speeches so the windmills turn faster and generate electricity? Then Obama is going to double fuel efficiency standards. Now, I've talked about this one before at length. If the government can control how the fuel efficiency of automobiles by passing laws, why don't they just pass a law that says every automobile gets 200 miles to a gallon? I mean, hello, you people believe that fucking assholes like Messiah can pass laws that change physics. If you have an engine that runs on gasoline and can only get 30 miles to a gallon, you can't pass a law and magically make it get 60 miles to a gallon. You can't change reality. You can't change physics by passing laws. But no, you believe this shit. Why do you believe this shit? Because you're a fucking idiot. Now let's have some contrast to that. This is a candidate contrast. Romney, the Mitzy, he's a Republican in case, and Republicans hate women, just so you know. Yeah, Republicans are mean, okay? Now here's what Mitzy is going to do for us if we elect him king of the United States. He's going to achieve energy independence by 2012. 2012. It is 2012. He's a little behind schedule. He is going to achieve energy independence by 2020. I think I just covered that about Messiah. The Messiah and the Mitzy. No. Mitzy has no fucking... Well, he will be in charge until 2020, sadly. Well, no, if he gets elected for 4 years, he won't be. If he gets elected for 8, he will be. Mitzy can no more achieve energy independence, whatever in the fuck that means, and it doesn't mean anything, than Obama can. Okay, what else is Mitzy going to do for us? He is going to have the private sector lead development of new energy technologies. Sure he is. And it's going to be done with government funding. And by new energy technologies, we mean what? We're not going to do nuclear because we can't have that. And coal has been around. Wind power, it doesn't work. Solar power doesn't work in mass effectiveness. What new technologies? We're not going to have any new technology. Any true, as I've talked about this before in the past, any truly new technology that threatens the industrial complex, which is built on using fossil fuels for fuel, is never going to make it, because the if you show up and you say, hey, I've got this thing here and this will replace gasoline and will do it more effectively and more cheaply and cleaner, the corporations are going to make goddamn sure that never comes to light. The corporations will have the government pass regulations that will keep you from bringing that product to bear on the market. I mean, why do you think nuclear power is so heavily regulated? Nuclear power, as compared to coal, is cleaner, it's safer. I know you don't want to hear that, but it is. The number of people who have been killed mining coal versus the number of people who have been killed generating nuclear power, not even close. Okay, this is why nuclear power plants are so heavily regulated, because they terrify the shit out of people who burn coal. Okay, there will be no new energy technologies as long as the state has power to crush new energy technologies that compete with the corporations that are currently providing energy. It's not going to happen. And finally, the Mitzy will approve the Keystone XL pipeline, promote regulatory cooperation with Mexico and Canada. That's not really a sentence, but then I'm looking at it and there's no punctuation. It's not really meant to be. He's going to approve a pipeline. Holy shit. Well, there's a game changer. It never comes to light. Why does anybody need the King of the United States to approve a pipeline? Oh, that's right, because you're a bunch of statists and you can't do anything without permission from the King of the United States. All right, now jobs. Let's contrast these candidates when it comes to jobs. Here's what the Messiah is going to do if we give him another 4 years. And as I've said before, ask yourself too, the Messiah has been president for 4 years already. Why hasn't he done all of these things if he's going to do them? If he's going to do all of this stuff, if he can do all of this stuff, if doing all of this stuff is such a great fucking idea, why has he waited 4 years to do it? The Messiah, when he's reelected, is going to invest in education, small businesses, infrastructure, and research. Invest what? Invest money? So in other words, he's going to take money from people who are actually earning money by doing things people want done and are willing to pay for. He's going to take that money from those people in the form of taxes, and then using the mechanism of central planning, the government is going to decide where that money should go. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work great, because that's worked so well so far. This is a totally radically new idea, to take money from people in the form of taxes and give that money to other people. Wow, that's going to solve all of our problems. Why hasn't anybody ever thought of that before? Wow, the Messiah, he's a genius. The Messiah is going to eliminate tax breaks for companies that ship jobs overseas and create tax incentives for businesses bringing jobs back home. Again, he's going to attempt to use the tax code to manipulate people into doing what he thinks they should do, and this is called central planning. And if If, of course, you don't pay those taxes, he's going to come and take them from you by force. And if you resist the force, you will be murdered. Yes, change, the hope and the change. That's going to work. Yes, punishing corporations for creating jobs overseas. Like Apple, who has slave labor in China. I bet Apple doesn't get their taxes affected. Punishing people who create products and services that other people want to pay money for because those people send their jobs overseas. Yes, that's a brilliant idea. That will solve all of our problems. The Messiah is also going to double exports and create 1 million new manufacturing jobs. The King of the United States cannot double exports. Things are exported because people in other countries want to buy them. The President of the United States cannot control what people in other countries want to buy from the United States. If you fucking believe that, I'm fucking begging you, fucking kill yourself. Please fucking kill yourself. If you fucking believe that the fucking president of the fucking United States can some fucking how fucking magically fucking double fucking exports to other fucking countries, you are a fucking idiot. Fucking kill yourself. You are fucking wasting oxygen that could be breathed by somebody in a foreign country who's probably working in a Chinese labor camp building iPads for Apple. And the Messiah cannot create any fucking manufacturing jobs unless he opens a factory or a workshop where things are manufactured and then hires people. It is impossible for him to create. He's like God now. He's going to create things. He's not the Messiah anymore. No. The first 4 years, he was the Son. He was Jesus. Now he's God. He's creating things. He's creating jobs. Meanwhile, our Republican savior, the Mitzy, here's what he's going to do for us slaves when he gets elected president. He's going to amend the National Labor Relations Act to protect the right of business owners to use money as they see fit. Okay, the only way he's going to do anything to let business owners use money the way they see fit is if he eliminates taxes and regulations. Is he going to do that? No. No, of course he's not going to do that because Republicans need taxes so that they can kill people in foreign countries, which, used to be the domain of the Republicans. At least that's the way it was perceived. Obama has certainly taken that over. What else is the Mitzy going to do? The Mitzy is going to reverse executive orders that tilt the playing field towards organized labor. Now, I hate unions. I don't like unions. I fucking piss on unions. However, in a truly free market economy, there would be no regulations that tilt things one way or the other. In a free market, anarchist, capitalist economy, if people want to get together and form a union, they can do that. They can do that. They should be able to do that. The concept of unions, the idea of unions, the purpose which unions are supposed to be there to do, which is protect the workers, form kind of a common pool, provide training, help people out, help members of the union find jobs, and they have all that stuff. All of those things are very noble intentions. That's not sarcasm. I mean that. Okay, the concept of what a union is supposed to be is a great concept. The problem, of course, is in execution. What the unions actually are is organizations that funnel money to the Democrat Party of the United States. But so in other words, all the Mitzy is saying here is that I'm going to take the regulations that control how corporations and companies, corporations, fuck corporations, I'm going to take the regulations that control how companies do their business, and I'm going to slant it from one direction to the other direction. He's not going to he's not deregulating. He's not taking away government control. He's not giving any freedom because he can't give freedom because the government cannot give you freedom. I've talked about that before. All he's going to do is shift the laws so that it's the people who support liberal Democrats aren't getting as much money and the people who support conservative Republicans are getting more money. That's not going to solve a problem. Okay, and what else is the Mitzy going to do to save us? To save us. Because he, the Mitzy, wants to be our new Messiah. He wants to be the new great man. He wants to lead us into the new age. What's he going to do for us? He's going to consolidate federal retraining programs and funding and return management to the states. There shouldn't be any federal retraining programs and funding. If the states want to do this, they should be able to do this. Why, if the states want to do these things, why can't they do these things? Oh, because the federal government is preventing them from doing it, because the federal government wants to control everything. That's not freedom. Oh, Mitzy, you're gonna give the states permission to have training programs. Wow, aren't you a great guy? You know, it's just kind of like the whole thing. We're going to give homosexuals permission to get married. We're going to give homosexuals permission to serve in the military. Yeah, we're going to, here in Colorado, we got the amendment on the ballot. We might give people permission to have marijuana, but only an ounce of it, and only 6 plants, and only 3 of them can be flowering. And then, instead of knocking on your door, going, excuse me, sir, do you have any marijuana? We're going to knock on the door, and they're going to say, so, you have some marijuana. Can I come in to see how many plants you have? Oh, and by the way, can I see some ID? Because you don't look 21. Yeah, that's going to be brilliant. Although, I do predict that the legalizing marijuana amendment here in Colorado will fail. I think it'll be close, but I do think it's going to fail. Ultimately, I think that'll be a good thing, but we're not talking about that in this podcast. If I get around to it, I might do a podcast about that. And that's one of those things, I can do that even after the election, because it doesn't matter if that wins or loses. It's still statism, it's still regulation. Legalization is still not freedom. All right, now back to the candidate contrast between the Mitzy and the Messiah. Gun rights. Ah, yes. The Messiah. What's the Messiah going to do about gun rights? He is going to enforce current laws pertaining to weapons. Well, that's interesting. The Messiah, who is the head of the government of the United States, the figurehead, the head, the executive branch. So if he gets reelected, he's going to start enforcing the current laws. Well, that's funny. Has he not been enforcing current laws up to this point? I notice he's been enforcing the laws about the war on drugs. I notice he's been enforcing the laws about indefinite detention. I notice he's been enforcing the TSA stealing people's iPads and blaming their wife and touching 8-year-old boys' penises. I notice he's been enforcing the laws about killing people in foreign countries with flying robots. I notice he's been enforcing the laws about keeping government documents secret. I notice he's been enforcing the laws about negotiating in secret with Congress and not being open and transparent like he said he was. I notice he has been enforcing the laws about Gitmo and keeping the people there imprisoned, even though he said he was going to close it down. So has he, not been enforcing gun laws all this time? Have we been missing out? He is also going to strengthen the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. Ah, yes. He's going to strengthen a computerized system by which we spy on and keep records on every citizen in the United States. Oh, fantastic. That's the smell of freedom in the air. And he is going to prevent criminals and mentally unbalanced individuals from purchasing firearms by checking record before gun sales. That's how it's actually written. The Messiah himself is going to check every record of every person before they buy a gun. He is going to prevent criminals from buying guns. He's going to do that all by himself. Do I need to say that you're stupid if you... Criminals, if they're going to buy guns, don't fucking buy guns from places that are going to do criminal background checks. The criminals, you see, are smarter than you. That's why you can't understand this. It's because you're stupid, okay? That's why you need the government to tell you what's right and wrong. That's why if you can't get married unless you go to the government and get permission. And if you're homosexual, well, the government won't give you permission, so you just don't get married because you're not going to do anything without the government's permission because the government is your master because you're a fucking slave. Meanwhile, our right-wing hero, the noble Mitzy, what's he gonna do for gun rights? Yeah, because he's a gun kind of guy. He's a right-winger, Second Amendment. Yeah, he's gonna protect our gun rights because they can have my gun when they take it from my cold dead hands. Yeah, there's a line in the sand and they come from my gun. I'm gonna shoot them. The Mitzy, no additional laws to restrict Second Amendment rights. I think there's enough laws already. Even if you don't pass any more, the damage is... It's kind of like saying, we've raped this woman. There 6 of us have raped and beaten this woman for the last 3 days. So we're not going to rape and beat her for an extra hour. Well, glory be, hallelujah. She should feel really good about that, shouldn't she? What else is the Mitzy going to do for us when it comes to gun rights? He is going to expand access and opportunities for hunting and shooting and defend the right of individuals to protect family, home, and property. How can the government expand access and opportunities for hunting and shooting when that's something they shouldn't be controlling anyhow? And as for, he's going to defend the right of individuals to protect family, home. Again, rights do not come from the government. The government cannot defend your rights. Your right to defend your home and your family and your person happens because you exist. The fact that you are alive is what gives you the right to pull out a gun and shoot somebody who threatens your home or your family or your person. You don't get that from the government. That's not where the fuck it comes from. And will that ability to defend your family, home, and property from aggression, will that include when the DEA comes and knocks on your door? I bet it won't. All right, and what else is the Mitzy going to do for gun rights? He is going to enforce existing laws and punish criminals who misuse firearms. Isn't it nice to know that if a criminal takes a firearm and shoots you and kills you, isn't it nice to know that he's going to be punished? You're still going to be dead, but he's going to be punished. Makes you feel good, doesn't it? The idea that we could create a society in which criminals don't exist for the most part, by not treating people like shit in the school system, by not putting them in prison for victimless crimes and teaching them to be better criminals, by not taxing the shit out of everything, by not controlling everybody's lives, all of this, the idea that we create a peaceful society where people coexist, that's not a fucking option. All right, the military. What's the Messiah going to do for us when he gets reelected for 4 more years of glory and bliss under his wonderful leadership of His Holiness, his Lord and Savior, King Hussein Obama, the first affirmative action president and the second coming of Jesus Christ? What's he going to do for us, slaves of America, when it comes to the military? He is going to return troops from Afghanistan and end the war by 2014. That is a lie. That is obviously a lie. That is a fucking lie. Okay? That's a lie. Simple, done. He is going to secure valuable nuclear materials. Now, what the fuck that means, I would love somebody to explain that. Secure valuable nuclear materials. That's not even a sentence, that's a fucking phrase. And he's going to commit to Israel's security. Yes, Hussein Obama, Democrat, is going to suck Israel's cock just like every Republican. Yes, there's such a difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. Okay, and here we go. Let me pause. Everybody go ahead now and just call me anti-Semitic. I don't give a fuck about Israel. Okay? Let Israel sort out Israel's own fucking problems. Israel is not our goddamn stepchild. Israel is not the 51st state, regardless of what people like Hussein Obama and Mitzy Romney think. Okay? Fuck Israel. It is not our goddamn job to wipe Israel's ass. Israel is perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. Fuck Israel. Okay? Fuck every goddamn... as I've said so many times, we still have troops in Europe protecting Europe from the Soviet Union that hasn't existed for over 20 fucking years. It is time to stop protecting every other goddamn country on earth. Especially Israel. Especially all of them. They're the military of the United States, which in an anarcho-capitalist society wouldn't even exist, since it does exist, should have only one purpose: to defend the United States. Fuck Israel. Now, meanwhile, what is our Lord and Savior in waiting, Mitzy Romney? What's he going to do if he becomes the next king of the United States? Well, he is going to set core defense spending at 4% of GDP. Whoa, whoop-de-fucking-do. I mean, okay, how the fuck do you even... I mean, okay, whoop-de-fucking-do. He's going to establish clear lines of authority and accountability for each weapons system to remain on time and on budget. So wait, you mean the military, which I served in, the most powerful hierarchical system on the planet Earth, where everybody has somebody who outranks them and everything is supposed to be... God, when I was in the military, you knew where everything was at every fucking moment because somebody was always signed for anything, especially a goddamn weapons system. You didn't check out your motherfucking M16 without somebody know. You knew at all fucking times where your weapon was at. So you're telling me that right now our military doesn't have a clear lines of authority and accountability for weapons systems and keeping them on time and on budget? How the fuck can the military have all these people running around in all these uniforms obeying all these orders and not know what the fuck is going on? Oh wait, that's right, because it's the state and it's incompetent by nature. And the only reason it keeps going is because it's so big and so massive and so ugly that you can't stop it. It's like a snowball boulder going down the hill. And of course, because Mitzy has got to get that cock in his mouth also, Mitzy is going to work closely with Israel to maintain a strategic military edge. We don't need to work closely with Israel. Israel can take care of themselves. We don't need a military edge. Nobody on the planet Earth wants to invade the United States. Those days are over. They died with the Soviet Union. We have entered into a new fucking age, okay? The only power on earth that can threaten us militarily is China, and they're not going to invade us because they own us already. If they came over here and blew things up, they would be blowing up their own investments. Nobody is going to invade the United States. We don't need a military edge, and we sure as fuck don't need one with Israel. Okay, now talking about war, let's get to the most important voting bloc, the voting bloc that votes with their sex organs, women. The Messiah, he who fights so hard, he who signed the Lilly Ledbetter Act that gave women equal pay for equal work, and yet somehow or another, you women still aren't getting paid equally, according to you, even though multiple studies have shown now that women are actually making more money than men, but you all conveniently ignore that because, first of all, you're stupid, and because, second of all, you're girls and your math skills suck. What is his Lord and Savior, the Messiah, going to do for the women other than make you wet? Because you know most of you voted for Obama because you want to ride his cock. The Messiah is going to end health insurance discrimination. Wait, hold it. I thought we already passed Obamacare. You mean Obamacare allows health insurance corporations to discriminate against people because of their gender? Whoa, holy shit! If Obamacare is so fucking wonderful, how can the health insurance corporations be discriminating against women because of their gender? Oh, golly! He's also going to protect a woman's right to choose. Does that mean he's going to protect your right to choose to wear a seatbelt or not? Is he going to protect your right to choose whether or not to smoke marijuana? Is he going to protect your right to choose whether or not to pay income taxes? Is he going to protect your... No, he's not protecting any of those choices. What's he... Oh, he's going to protect your right to an abortion because you need his permission to get an abortion because, oh, bless your heart, you're just so sweet. And, you know, if you don't have permission from the government, you can't go get an abortion, honey. No. You've got to have permission from the slave master to get your abortion. And of course, Obama passed the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which apparently isn't working. But he passed it. It's not working. I did this, but it's not working. Can you imagine if the fire department showed up at your house? Your house is on fire. It's burning. The fire department shows up and they spray some water on there for a couple of minutes and they stop and they say, oh, look, it didn't work. Try harder. Put a little more water on it. Something. Yeah, you would respond. But Obama can do all of this shit. For 4 years, he's done all this shit. And it didn't work. It hasn't worked. And people, oh, we want more. Oh, Messiah, you're so wonderful. The state cannot solve your problems because the state creates your problems. The state cannot give you equal pay. If the fucking Obama cared so much about your fucking pay being equal, why doesn't he not take income taxes out of your check? Why don't we no income taxes for women? Oh, can't do that because we need that money to kill brown women in foreign countries with flying robots. Yeah, gotta have that. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Mitzy, the Great White Hope, the cheesecake. What's he going to do for women? What's he going to do for women who can't do anything for themselves? Because bless your hearts, you girls, you can't do math. You don't know how much money you make because you don't know how to do research on the internet because you don't know how Google works. And, you need a white man in the White House to do things for you because you can't do it yourself. What's the Mitzy going to do for you? He's going to restore the economy and get women to work. Okay, as I've said before so many times, the President of the United States cannot control the economy. The economy is what every individual, business, corporation, government entity in the United States and on the planet Earth in any way that interacts with any of those entities in the United States choose to do with their money or anything they choose to do that may influence how they or other people spend their money. The President of the United States cannot control the actions of every human on the planet Earth. Nobody who is President of the United States, nobody can restore the economy because the economy is beyond your control. And how the fuck is he going to get women to work? Has he ever tried to get a woman's ass out of bed in the morning and get her bitch ass to work? I don't think he has. Because it's tough. All they do is fucking lay there like great big old beached whales. Oh wait, that's me. Sorry, I got confused for a minute there. All right, anyway. Yeah, I mean, wait. This is one thing. That's all I can do is make that. Because how do you respond to that when a politician, if you elect me president, I'm going to get women to work? I mean, how in the fuck do you even respond to something that stupid? There is no intelligent response. There is, listen to me, you stupid fucking statist. There is no intelligent response to that statement. There is nothing that can be said to that because it is so insanely stupid and mindless. It can't be refuted because there's no substance to refute. How is the president going to get women to work? Is he going to go around to every woman's house in the morning when it's time for her to get up and go to work and wake her up? How can you how can you people see? This is on the front of the Collegian. There are stupid little fucking medicated generation college kids reading this all over campus. How can you stupid little fuckers read this shit and take this seriously? How can you read this shit, sit here and go, well, I got to go out and vote for one of those two dipshits? I mean, how can you fucking... How can this not just insult your intelligence? Oh, wait, you don't have any intelligence. You're a medicated generation. What am I thinking? You're a bunch of goddamn fucking statists. Okay, he is going to overturn, this is the Mitzy, he's going to overturn Roe v. Wade. The President of the United States cannot overturn Supreme Court decisions. Okay? The President cannot, no. The president is not going to overturn Roe versus Wade. That is not going to happen. It's also not going to happen because if the Republicans make a shit ton of money from people donating money to them on the promise of overturning Roe versus Wade, the Republicans get a shit ton of people who vote with other people's vaginas instead of their own to go out and vote Republican so that we'll overturn Roe versus Wade and outlaw abortion. If they actually do that, those people will no longer have a reason to vote Republican and contribute money to the Republican Party. The Republicans are not going to overturn Roe versus Wade. They don't give a fuck about unborn children. They give a fuck about votes and money. Money. They give a fuck about money. If you overturn R v. Wade, there is no money involved in that. If you shut down the abortion clinics, pay taxes. When they pay all their employees, those employees pay income taxes and pay taxes when they buy. If you shut down those clinics, you lose tax revenue. The Republicans are not going to outlaw fucking abortion. If you believe that, you are too fucking stupid to know how the game is played and you need to fucking kill yourself. The Republicans will never outlaw abortion. It gets them money in the form of donation. It gets them votes. It gets them support. And the income taxes and the taxes and the sales taxes and everything else paid by the abortion clinics and the people who work in the abortion clinics and the supplies that the abortion clinics buy, all of this stuff funds killing people in foreign countries with military hardware. All of this funds the drug war. All of this funds the state. The Republicans are not going to fucking outlaw abortion. Stop being so fucking stupid. And finally, the Mitzy, when he becomes president, he's going to end federal funding for abortion advocates like Planned Parenthood. No, he's not. The government is not going to end funding anything. The government may make regulations such as that. The government does not ever stop spending money. The government will not stop funding these things. That is simply just not going to happen. The government shouldn't be funding these things. The government should not exist. The state should not exist. But if you believe that shit, you're a moron. Holy crap, we're running out of time. I didn't even get to the other fun stuff I was going to read. I spent all the time. You know what? Fuck it. Basically, there's like this. All right, here we go. What's this? Oh, education. What's the Messiah going to do for us when it comes to education? He's going to invest in... Oh, God. You know... All right. All right, hold on. Randy. Oh, my God. All right. Just be ready. Okay, we're going to play the outro music and we're going to keep going because I'm almost done with this and I'm going to do these other couple of things. But yeah, so we're going over. No. There will not be a fucking second part to this. We're just going to go long. All right? This is why I started laughing, not because of what I was telling Randy. But I mean, I just wasted like a minute laughing. All right. I love it when politicians say things like, "Oh, the Messiah is going to invest in community colleges to provide education and career training." Invest what? Oh, you're going to invest tax money. You mean you're going to invest money that's stolen from people who actually produce it? He's not going to invest his own money. It's not like he's going to go buy stock in a community college with his money. He doesn't have any money because he gets paid to be president, and the money paid to him to be president is stolen from the taxpayers. But I just love it when, this shows you how the state corrupts words. Like if I said I'm going to invest in something, that means that I'm going to take money that I somehow earned and I'm going to do something with that money, which in theory, in hopes, is going to produce a greater return somewhere down the road. But when politicians say they're going to invest, what they mean is they're going to take money away from people that are making money. They're going to take that money from them with the threat of violence. And then they're going to take that money and they're going to shit it down the toilet by giving it to an organization or a company or a corporation or a project or whatever that can't make any money in the free market because nobody wants what that organization, company, corporation has. If these community colleges were so fucking great, people would pay them money to go there. They wouldn't need the government to give them money. But that's beyond you, isn't it? That's completely beyond you because you're a fucking statist. All right, we are going to the Messiah is going to reform federal campus-based aid programs to shift aid away from colleges that don't keep net tuition down. Okay, the reason colleges raise tuition is because the amount of grants and loans given out goes up. Okay, if you're selling a car and people coming in only have $1,000, you sell them cars that cost $1,500. If suddenly people start coming in and they have $3,000, then you sell them cars that cost $3,500. It's the same cars, okay? The price of education is not determined by some objective value. The price of college education is determined by how much money do the people who want that college education have and how much are they willing to give to the college. That's called supply and demand. My God, you people are stupid. But then again, you're a medicated generation. I don't bother with the other side. What are you talking about? I'm sitting here talking about the other side right now. I'm making fun of the other side. I'm making fun of both sides. Because statists are so fucking stupid. By the way, this is the theme song to Stating the Obvious. You Know I'm Right by David Gilmour. It's off his 1984 album About Face. It's a song he wrote about me. Yes. By the way, speaking of music, I just watched Rush, not Rush Limbaugh, Rush the band. The one reason that I don't want to nuke Canada is because of Rush. I just watched Rush's concert Time Machine. I think it was from like 2011, recorded in, I want to say it was Cincinnati, Ohio. God damn. For three guys that are like 700 years old, those motherfuckers can jam. It was amazing how much noise comes out of those three guys. Holy shit. Was it not a great concert? Randy watched it with me. It was fucking fantastic. Those guys are amazing. Saw Amy Mann a while back here in Fort Collins too. It was sad because it was not sold out. The house was about halfway full because nobody in Fort Collins here knows who the fuck Amy Mann is because these people don't have any goddamn culture. Now Justin Bieber, they fucking know who Justin Bieber is. But you give them Amy Mann, somebody who has talent, somebody who writes interesting, intelligent songs, and they're like, who the fuck is Amy Mann? Never heard of her. All right. So normally at this point, you would be going, God damn, I'm glad that motherfucking thing is over because that asshole, Jesus Christ, who the fuck listens to this podcast? All that guy does is sit here and scream about status, you fucking status. And he just says the word fuck all the time. God damn, what a fucking asshole. Well, guess what? We're going over on this one. I'm still here. You're still here. If you're hearing this, it's because you're still here. All right, I'm going to say the word fuck some more times and talk some more shit about statism. Then eventually, I'm going to check my email and then work on some other shit. All right, here we go. The Messiah, when he gets reelected, when he becomes coronated king for another 4 years, he's going to increase college graduates. Really? By the way, I just, as a note, I'm reading all of this for the first time. And so every time I stopped because I was so fucking stunned. And I was thinking, okay, I had to have read that wrong. The Messiah, he's going to increase college graduates. He personally is going to increase college graduates. Somebody please fucking explain to me how you think he can do that. I mean, this is right up there with what's the fucking stupid one Mitzy had? God, I already forgot. Oh, where Mitzy was going to, get women to work. Where's the goddamn women fucking horse shit here? Here it is. Get women to work. Mitzy's going to get women to work. What the fuck does that? Obama is going to increase college graduates. How in the fuck is he going to do that? How can you believe this shit? Oh, fuck. Because you're a statist. Because you're stupid. I keep forgetting. All right, the Messiah, when he gets reelected, is going to increase college graduates and there's more. If you order now, if you vote now, there's more. Not only will I increase college graduates, but he is going to contain cost of tuition by rewarding states willing to systematically change their higher education policies and practices. In other words, he's going to blackmail the states, the state governments, and the colleges into doing what he wants them to do. He's going to blackmail them. He is going to use the threat of violence to force state governments and colleges to behave the way he wants them to behave, because that's freedom. Wow. Okay. By the way, we're almost done with this. Education is the last category in this candidate contrast. Do you hear the contrast here? There's such a clear contrast between these two fuckwad psychopathic statist motherfuckers. Such a clear contrast. Okay. The Mitzy, in all of his gloriness, when he becomes king of the United States, here's what he's going to do for education. He is going to reverse nationalization of student loans and return to bank-based student lending. Right, because the banks aren't giant corporations which are tools of the state. And yeah, when instead of the government corporation, which is a tool of the state, doing student loans, we're going to let the banks do it. Because the banks, they're financially solvent. We didn't, bail the banks out or anything like that, like we had to bail out the automobile corporations, or like we had to bail out the health insurance corporations by this thinly veiled bailout bill, which is called Obamacare. No. The banks. Yeah, the banks have their shit together. Yeah, that's a great idea. The Mitzy is going to refocus Pell Grant donors. Take two. The Mitzy is going to refocus Pell Grant dollars to those who need them most. You mean the people that those Pell Grants dollars were stolen from in the form of taxes? Are you going to give them the Pell Grants? I bet you're not. The government is going to hand the Pell Grants out the same way it always does, based on political, social, economic, and racial statistics. Fucking please. And finally, the Mitzy, in his holiness and whiteness, is going to... Hold on, it's silent because I'm reading this and trying to figure out what the fuck this means. He is going to stem rate of increase in grant funding to go with rate of inflation and hold down rate of tuition fee increases. In other words, he's going to try to control the cost of college. In other words, he's going to try to control the free market. In other words, he is going to decide how much grant funding should go somewhere according to inflation, and he's going to hold down the rate of tuition fee increases. He's going to implement price controls. Remember, this is a Republican. These are the people who claim they're in favor of the free market. So he's going to implement price controls and central planning in the field of public education. That's economic freedom to Republicans. That's a free market to Republicans. Okay, this is why for any of you out there who are leaning libertarian, leaning capital and anarcho-capitalist, and you're listening to people like Ron Paul, and you're listening to Paul Ryan, or you're listening to Mitzy, and you're thinking these Republicans, they're more on our side than the Democrats are, and that's why, since the Libertarian candidate isn't going to win, you should vote Republican. These people are not your fucking friends, okay? The Republicans are socialist fucking statist, just like the Democrats. They are not your fucking friends. This is price control. This is central planning. Mitzy is advocating socialism. Fuck. All right, now, the next stuff I want to get to. This is from Collegian also, today's op-ed page. I was about to say this will be short, but I'm lying, of course, because I'm long-winded like a motherfucker. We endorse Barack Obama. Here's a shock. The college kids at the Collegian endorse Obama. I can't believe it. Okay, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm not reading all of this. With Obama at the helm, our crippled economy has slowly improved. He has been a champion for us students in healthcare and education. In foreign affairs, Obama has proved himself to be a fearless commander-in-chief and globally respected ambassador. On social issues, Obama is on the right side of history, particularly with women's health and GLBTQ rights. For these reasons, the Collegian endorses Obama for re-election so he can continue what he started. 4 years is not enough time to fix the mess he inherited. Okay, as has been said before, he did not inherit the mess. He campaigned for the mess. 4 years ago, he knew all about the mess. It's not like he was sitting there and somebody dropped by his house and dropped this mess on him and stuck him with it. He did not inherit it. He wanted it. He campaigned for it. He fucked Hillary Clinton over because Hillary Clinton got more votes than Obama in the Democrat primary to determine who would be the Democrat candidate for the president of the United States. He fucked Hillary Clinton up the ass in order to get this, okay? He did not fucking inherit it, you stupid fucking medicated generation cocksuckers. So now, the crippled economy has slowly improved. Well, it's improved so much. Why aren't women making as much money as men? Why can't you women get up and go to work? Why do you need Mitt Romney to get you there? If the economy is so fucking wonderful, why do we still have 8% unemployment? That's not even counting the people that are unemployed but have stopped looking for jobs. As I've said before, I am a freelancer. I am technically unemployed, but I don't show up on any statistic because my fucking unemployment ran out a long time ago, okay? There are lots of people out there who are unemployed that you just don't know about because it's easy for you to ignore them. If Obama's so goddamn wonderful on the economy, why are there still homeless people? Why do we need all this stimulating the economy shit if it's going so goddamn great? Why does he need to create more jobs if it's going so goddamn great? All right, what else we got here? He's been a champion students in healthcare and education. Then why are you all so stupid? I mean, why do we... In foreign affairs, he's a fearless commander-in-chief. Yeah, he's really good at fearlessly murdering people with flying robots. Yeah, it's easy to fucking kill people when you're on another goddamn continent. It's a lot harder to be an infantry soldier like I was and take a rifle and actually shoot at a motherfucker that you can see, and when you shoot him, actually watch him die. Not that I've ever shot anybody and killed them that I can tell you about, but there's a big fucking difference. A fearless commander-in-chief. Yeah, sitting in the White House telling other people to murder people for you. Oh, that's real fucking fearless. That is the goddamn definition of a piece of shit coward. Skip a paragraph. It says, Obama's health care plan has allowed us to be covered by our parents' insurance until the age of 26. Without this burden, we can focus on finding a job and paying off our student loans. He increased Pell Grants for us, and this summer he opposed legislation that would have doubled the interest rate on Stanford loans. Ah, yes. Us. Oh, you people are so fucking selfish. Yes, you can ride on your parents' fucking insurance till you're 26. Your parents have fucking supported you till you're 18 years old, and now you can still fucking keep the tit in your mouth. Because, so you're going to concentrate on getting a job. Why is it so hard to find a job? I thought the economy was wonderful thanks to Hussein Obama. Shouldn't be that hard. And if you fucking think your education loans are going to be paid off by the time you're 26, you are sadly fucking mistaken. Then there's this other idiot over here named Hamilton Reed who wrote a column called Seriously, Get Out and Vote. This is the obligatory column about how you've got to vote because your vote's so important. So just a couple of paragraphs in here I'm going to hit. He says blah, 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 blah. And he's talking about how enough people don't turn out. And then he writes, think about that. In a good year, the political fate of our nation is determined by barely half of the eligible voters. On off years, there are more people not participating in the civil election process than are. That hardly sounds like democracy to me. Now, as I pointed out, only 22% of people currently living in the United States voted for Hussein Obama. That doesn't sound like democracy. Democracy, again, it's this fucking democracy humping. Like, that's not democracy. No, democracy is mob rules. Democracy is that if you have 100 people and 51 of them decide to kill the other 49, they can. Democracy is if you're walking down an alley and there's 2 men and 1 woman, and the 2 men vote to rape the woman, they can do that. That's democracy, okay? Democracy is not the fucking end-all, be-all. Democracy is not what we need. Democracy is not what we should have. Democracy does not fucking solve problems. Democracy is mob rule. Democracy empowers the state to murder people, and it causes people to stand by and watch as other people are murdered without lifting a finger. Democracy is not the solution. Democracy is the problem. Freedom, non-aggression, and property rights are the solution. Democracy has not a fucking thing to do with it. Democracy is the notion that if other people want to take something from you, they can. Democracy is the idea that if other people want to control your behavior, they can. He then writes, for those that think their votes don't count, with respect to Mr. Wayne Gretzky, all I have to say is that governments ignore 100% of the votes you don't cast. If you feel your voice is still being ignored after you vote, there are other avenues. Write letters to your representatives or organize demonstrations. It is hard for governments to ignore massive gatherings of people. Yeah. It's also, it's not very hard for them to shoot those gatherings of people. It's not very hard for them to target them with unmanned flying drones. It's not very hard for them to use surveillance to pick people out with video cameras and then go to those people's homes afterwards. It's not very hard to spy on those people using the internet. Yes, let's write a letter to your representative. Dear Mr. Representative, I think this whole thing where you kill people for having marijuana and murder people in foreign countries is wrong. Please stop. And then your representative writes back, oh shit, you're right. I never thought of that before. We're going to stop right now today. Yes, that's what it is. Write to your fucking representative. You goddamn fucking tool. The government ignores 100% of the votes you don't cast. The government ignores all the votes. I've talked about this already. It doesn't matter who votes. It matters who counts the votes. The government already knows who's going to win the election. Your vote doesn't fucking count. Okay? Stop taking your goddamn Ritalin. Turn off your fucking cell phone. Pull the goddamn earbuds out of your stupid little fucking medicated generation ears and fucking listen to me. Your vote doesn't fucking count. His final paragraph is this. I realize that there are some people who have trouble getting to polling places or properly registering in the first place, but those who can vote and don't are failing one of their primary responsibilities as citizens of a free country. Seriously, get out and vote. How hard can it be? I mean, who is so fucking stupid in this country that they can't register to vote? Every time I walk down the street for the last 2 months, some stupid little 19-year-old cunt with an Obama shirt fucking harasses me with her goddamn clipboard wanting to know if my voting registration information is up to date. How in the fuck can you be too goddamn stupid to register to vote? There it is. Tomorrow, tomorrow we will find out who the government, who the NSA, who the CIA, who the FBI, and who the corporations have chosen to be the next president of the United States. We will find out who the state is going to put up there for all of you to worship, for all of you to cling to, for all of you to go to and say, oh, Mr. President, I can't get married without your permission. Please give me permission. I can't smoke marijuana without your permission. Please give me permission. I don't know what to eat. Please, Mr. President, put out guidelines for what kind of food I should eat because I'm not smart enough to feed myself. Oh, Mr. President, please make more regulations to control my life because I'm too stupid. I can't get equal pay for equal work on my own. I need you to do it for me. And oh, Mr. President, please keep killing people with flying robots in foreign countries. That's the most wonderful thing. Oh, you're so enlightened and you care. Oh, Obama, you care about the women and the homosexuals so much, and we're so happy that you murder brown people in foreign countries with flying robots. But if it's Mitzy, it's so wonderful because you care so much about the unborn children, and that's why you will murder brown people in foreign countries with flying robots because of your compassion for the unborn, and because you're going to get up every day and get women to work. Oh Mitzy, oh Messiah, oh God, I'm gonna come. Statism.